Welcome to the Pub Sports Radio MLB Closing Time Show, Friday, October 15th. Ian Cameron, Conor Mac, Skee Profit, Sharpie with us, with you guys as always, ready to break down the Friday MLB card. We're going to actually look at both games that are taking place the next 2 days. We'll obviously talk Boston, Houston, ALCS Game 1 tonight. And we'll also look ahead to Dodgers, Braves, the series overall, and Game 1 tomorrow night as well, NLCS Game 1 there. First of all, we want to mention, if you didn't see Betting with the Bag earlier today, Jimmy the Bag, 5-year anniversary of Jimmy the Bag doing his show, various platforms, but now it's here exclusively on Pub Sports Radio. The Low Bag family was basically created because of his work doing that show, and we did a little video tribute. We got pretty much everybody that's been part of this great family here at Pub Sports Radio and have known Jimmy over the years, got involved with it, said a little brief message to wish him all the best and many, many more years ahead. So make sure you check it out, the Pub Sports Radio Twitter handle. I retweeted it. Check out the end of Jimmy's show earlier today when we played that video. And by the way, congrats or props to Jose, props to Dom Ricci, and everybody else who spearheaded that, put all the videos together in that tribute for Jimmy. They did such a great job. I mean, amazing, editing work, putting the videos together, just outstanding all around. And it was a great piece to put together for a guy that obviously has pulled us all together as one family, one community, if you will, of crazy ass hardcore sports bettors, if you will. So it was great to do that and be part of that. So Jimmy, congratulations on 5 great years. And again, check out that tribute video. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun too for my 3 colleagues here on this show, watching the LA Dodgers win and advance to the NLCS. That was fun, I am sure, for them. Look, Dodgers in a well-pitched, low-scoring, tight game. There's some people that are baseball sticklers that I know that say, Ian, how can you watch this? It's like 1-1 going into the 9th inning. Nothing's happening. That's riveting playoff baseball. That's what that is. I don't care that it's low scoring. That's drama. That's tense. You're basically your nerves and your stomach is in knots. If you're a fan of either the Dodgers or Giants last night, managers are having to make pressure-packed decisions, who they go to and when they go to them out of the bullpen down the stretch in that tie game. And every pitch matters. Every hit matters. Every call matters. How do you not love a game like that? To me, you're missing the point if you think games are only entertaining when there's a lot of runs or there's a lot of goals or there's a lot of baskets or whatever. Offense doesn't always mean it's a great game. That was a great baseball game last night. And look, Dodgers just pitched a little bit better than the Giants did. And you give them credit. Everybody in the bullpen, great job by them. Corey Knebel, that decision to use him as the opener worked out for the Dodgers. And I know Giants fans are upset.
Little shaky, though.
Yeah, a little bit.
He got through it.
He got hit. Right? Yeah. The 0 was on the board. That's what mattered. And I know Giants fans are ticked off. It was a brutal check swing call. I understand that. But it still could have won the game anyway. Like, we don't know for sure if that's actually going to end up mattering in the end. Because Scherzer could have easily gotten him out the next pitch, even if they call that a ball. So you can't – it was a terrible – I just hate that it ends on a call like that, but it still doesn't mean the Giants would have won the game if he doesn't make that call for as bad as it was. But congrats to the Dodgers. They survived a very, very strong season for the Giants. They deserve credit too. Incredible year, even though it ends last night in the NLDS. So Dodgers move on to face the Atlanta Braves. Skee, Conor, Sharpie will give you some chance to give some thoughts on what we saw last night. Skee, we'll start with you. Obviously happy that your Dodgers lived to see another day.
Yeah, definitely happy. And I ended up going to the window, even though I said that I probably wouldn't. I did get there with the Dodgers, so extra happy. But I just want to say, yeah, I got to do it. I just want to,
of course.
I just want to say, I don't care about that check swing. We got cheated out of a World Series. I don't want to hear any of it.
2.
I'm okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay with not having to worry about other people's gripes and complaints and worried about, hey, we got screwed. You're right. Dodgers do have a case with what's gone on in the past with a certain team that they might face in this year's World Series. Wouldn't that be something?
2 teams. Both those teams cheated us. I don't want to hear that, we got cheated once. The Red Sox manager got fired for a year too, bro. And some shit. They just didn't want to bring that all up because of they swept the Astros stuff under the rug. They both cheated. I want revenge on both of them. And shout out to Logan Webb. That dude needs to get paid. That dude looked freaking dominant 2 times in a row versus that type of lineup. Man, but yeah.
Yeah, you usually expect a lineup as deep and terrific 1 through 9 and many options with the Dodgers to make some adjustments, have a better approach against any pitcher, regardless of how good he is. But they didn't against Logan Webb. He was terrific once again
that
for the
fastball,
San Francisco Giants.
He'd throw it off the plate and it would zoom back in and catch the corner. Like, as a batter, you give up on that pitch.
Yeah,
he's got unreal tail.
He does. He's got I don't know where this development came from, because I always thought of him just as a middling run-of-the-mill pitcher for the longest time. And he is just like with a lot of these Giants, and you got to give Kapler and the pitching coach credit. They've turned guys like Logan Webb and Alex Wood, Kevin Gossman, go on down the list of pitchers that have just turned around their careers this year with the San Francisco Giants. And we'll have to see if they can keep it up. But Dodgers move on to face the Atlanta Braves. And if the Dodgers get to the World Series, Sharpie, to your point, they're going to have a chance to exact revenge against one of those teams, because it'll be either Boston or Houston awaiting them in the World Series if the Dodgers can get that there. Conor Mac, what did you think of last night?
Yeah, Logan Webb was good. Both pitchings, the whole Dodgers, Urias, all the whole bullpen was good. I love that they brought in Scherzer. I liked it. Kenley, Trinan, they were all good. Mookie Betts, shout out to him. He was the one guy who got to Webb. Great stolen bag. Seager with the double. Dodgers got it done. And shout out to guys at the bottom order, Lux, and especially Bellinger, a guy we've ripped on this show, and I've ripped all this year. He hit $165. It's good for him to come through. Dodgers move on. Everything's good in the world. Giants lose. Dodgers win. I can love it, man.
All is right.
That's it, baby.
Bellinger, glad you mentioned that, because I know Connor always says, "Hey, you nailed everything already, Ian. You basically said everything I was gonna," and that's the one thing I missed. And I'm glad you picked up on it, Connor, mentioning that hit by Cody Bellinger. I was so happy for him. Because, look, he's been hearing it all year. What's wrong with Cody Bellinger? What's wrong with Cody Bellinger? What's happened to him? He's been awful this year. And for him to be the guy to get that game-winning, series-winning hit, it's great. It's like fairy tale stuff.
He had a good series, too, though. It's not just the game. No one's going to talk about your shitty-ass season, bro. If you freaking keep this going, no one's going to talk about how bad you were during the season. It's about playoffs.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And props to me. I'll pat myself on the back. Logan Webb over 5.5 strikeouts. It got there last night. 7. You got 7 innings out of him. And I figured, hey, if he pitches 6-7 innings, we're cashing this strikeout.
I was shocked it was 4.5. It was a scratchy. I think they thought he might not get hit and be only pulled after 5. That's the only thing I could think of why it was set there. Because I thought that should have been set at 6.5.
Yeah, I think they were worried about the quick hook. In a game of that magnitude. I really do. And we talked about that yesterday, and thankfully it didn't come into play. He goes 7 innings, gets 7 strikeouts, and the strikeout over 5.5 prop cashes for Logan Webb. All right, guys, we're down to 4 teams left for the World Series. We got Boston and Houston, ALCS Game 1 tonight. Chris Sale, Framber Valdez, lefties battle here in Game 1. Houston -140, home favorites, 8.5 the total in this game. When you look at Chris Sale coming into this game and this series, we are talking about a guy that right now is Chris Sale in name only, because the Chris Sale reputation for years has been dominant pitcher, elite pitcher, wipeout pitching, that nobody can catch up to the bat. The bat speed cannot catch up to what Chris Sale can deliver on the mound. Well, they're catching up to it right now as of late for this opposing teams. They have had great deal of success for Chris Sale, and he enters in to this start as someone that I'm just flat out not ready to trust, especially when you look at the way the Houston Astros lineup just bombed Chicago White Sox pitching in the American League Division Series. For Chris Sale, it's not been all that pretty really since the beginning of September. He had that rough start against Tampa. He gave up 5 runs, lasted 3.2 innings. And in his last few starts, remember Baltimore, down the stretch when they needed those games badly, they lost that game. He only went 5.1 innings. He gave up 3 runs on 4 hits. The Washington Nationals start was ugly when they were trying to clinch their playoff spot. 2 runs, 4 hits, 2.1 innings. And then it goes without saying how rough it was for him, lasting just 1 inning getting absolutely obliterated out of the gate by the Rays in the division series. 5 runs and a home run allowed in just an inning and 4 hits as well. It's just not Chris Sale that we have seen in the past. As simple as that. And I worry about that. A guy that's struggling mightily, going to the mound here on the road against a Houston Astros team that where do we begin with them? A team that's hitting righties good, lefties good, just hitting overall here in that Chicago series, in that series victory against the White Sox, 6-9, 6-10 runs scored for this Astros team. So I don't trust Sale here. He's not going to give you a lot of innings if recent history says anything about that. So you're going to see a lot of the Red Sox pen. You're going to see, obviously, Framber Valdez here for the Houston Astros going into this game. And when you look at Valdez, he's someone that's had some good moments this year, good starts and some not so good ones, and can't say that recently here in October it's been very good for him. The start against the White Sox was ugly. 4 runs, 7 hits, 4.1 innings in the division series. His last start of the regular season against Oakland, he gave up 4 runs, lasted only 5 innings, couple of home runs as well. I don't know, guys. This looks like over 8.5 to me. This one stuck out like a sore thumb from the very beginning when this line came out. And rather than a side, I do lean to Houston. Because I think less of Sale right now, I think, than Valdez, but I'm just going to stick with runs in this game. Over, you could even go first 5 over, but I'm going to go full game over in this one. 8.5 between the Red Sox and Astros. Connor, we'll start with you. Game 1 ALCS.
Yeah, I think it's got to be the over here. These pitchers, I guess they're just thinking Sale's going to have a good start. He's had a bunch of time off. Even Valdez. His rest. I don't see it. Both these teams hit lefties so well. I just see runs. I like both team totals. The Red Sox is just 3.5, minus 125. But I'm with you. I got an 8. I think it's still good at 8.5. I thought this game should be lined at 9. Just the way these offenses have been performing. They can get ice cold. I mean, if there's an under in this game, it wouldn't be a huge shock to me. But the way they've been swinging it in that ballpark, I just got to take the full game over. I think both pitchers get touched. And you talked about Sale's not the same guy as he used to be. I love to fade him all the time when he'd be minus 300. And yeah, one thing though, the Red Sox have been winning. They beat the Yankees. Yep. They take care of the Rays. Watch out for them. Maybe catching them. I just don't like the Astros with Valdez at the minus 140. I get people, if they've been riding the Astros, you want to take them, but be leery of the Red Sox. If they keep swinging it like that, they're in this game and a plus 130, 135, maybe a little bit of value on them to steal game 1 here.
Yeah, don't underestimate that lineup and what they did. You're right, against Tampa Bay. 14 runs, 6 runs, and 6 runs after they got shut out by McClanahan in the game 1. And then ever since that first game, they just mashed arguably the best complete group of pitching in the Major League Baseball in terms of, starters and bullpen combined. There are a lot of people that would say Tampa Bay had the deepest set of arms between starters and bullpen in Major League Baseball. And here are the Red Sox scoring 26 runs against that Tampa Bay pitching staff, starters and bullpen combined, in the last 3 games of that series. So give them credit. They got some big hits, contributions up and down the lineup. And Houston's bullpen is still not a lockdown group by any stretch of the imagination. That's why in this game, I'd rather than look at either side, just expect the runs to be scored. If you want to be contrarian and poke holes in this theory that we're going to see runs tonight, especially for Boston, you could say 3 days off. Does it throw off the rhythm? Or is the timing all screwed up at the plate because they haven't played now since Monday? I guess if you want to try to be, just provide a counter argument to the over theory tonight, that could be it. That Boston's been off for 3 days, but I still think they're going to put some good swings together. And it's not like Valdez was good in his division series start against the White Sox, because he wasn't.
Yeah, real quick, I was just going to say, I think the first 5 innings, I've seen some people like that. I like it as well, but just give me the full game. I don't trust, in the end, both these teams, and I think the Red Sox kind of got by. They pitched well. You got to give it to them. Against the Rays, but I think they could get hit. We know at times the Astros pen can get hit, even though they pitch better later on in the year. So I'd rather go full game than even the first 5, but I like that as well.
Yeah, and we talked about last night, don't go crazy with home run props. And, of course, there was really only the one home run in the game, which was Darren Ruff for the Giants. This is a different story.
That was a
I've got my eye
bomb,
on
too.
a few home run props tonight in this game, and we'll get to those later in the show when we do Jack of the Day. Skee, we'll go to you next. What do you like here with Game 1, ALCS, Boston and Houston?
Initially when I think of it, I just want to go over. It's very hard to think that it could be an under game. Like, as soon as I knew what the matchup was going to be, I just know how well Boston has been hitting, and I know that the Astros can hit as well. It's kind of surprising to me. Boston's bullpen has been pretty good lately. Last 2 weeks, 3.33 ERA, and it's not a bullpen that I thought was good at all. So, this first game, maybe I'll just wait and see, but the only way I can play this one, I would have to trust both teams' bats.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it does seem extremely obvious, like the captain obvious bet in this game is that over, but sometimes the obvious does win. Sharpie, what do you like?
Man, there's a lot that I like. Shout out to the chat, guys. Smash the like if you haven't. Thanks for coming in. But you guys are going to get some winners. That's why y'all here, because we've been winning on this show, boy. Yep. And it's kind of nice when we're all on the same page. I bet the over 8 last night, guys, but I'm going to get into it a little different. I think it's going to go under maybe the first few innings, guys, and you can get a live total on it even better. Valdez, he's gone up against Boston twice, back-to-back. June 2nd, June 8th. Pretty much same identical box scores, 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. If you go through their season long, they're both top 5 versus lefties, guys. Go through their last 30-day stats, though. They have top 10 numbers power-wise, but Houston's average drops all the way down to 24th. So hitting numbers favor Boston right now the last 30 days on my paper. And then I go into it. Sale, guys, has been garbage, like you said, in the postseason. 7.27 ERA in the postseason. Valdez has a 2.86 career in the postseason. Valdez is the better pitcher the last 7 games by a half-run ERA-wise. 4 guys on Houston have really good slugging and batting numbers versus Sale with more than 15 at bats. Like, these guys have a lot of at bats versus Sale, some of these guys. And the other way around, there was 2 guys on Boston, Kiki Hernandez and I forgot the other one, who had really good numbers versus Valdez. So this to me is an over spot. I think it goes over. They're both bottom 15 bullpens. And I think both these pitchers get hit. But if one doesn't get hit, I think it's Valdez. He's already proven he could shut this team down twice. Back-to-back to me is huge, guys. Like, you know me by now. I will stay the hell off of a game if I see a back-to-back if I'm not on an over. And this guy's shown he can handle it. So do the Boston bats of the playoffs show up? Valdez is a better pitcher at home than on the road. He's at home. So a lot of the things show where it says Houston should be favored by a bigger number in my eyes. So I'm on the over 8 myself, but I think it's going to go 0-0 for an inning or 2, and then I'm going to jump on it live again.
All right, there we go. So an interesting theory. Likes the over, but he's going to wait to bet it, see if we get a
I already bet it. I already
did
bet the 8 last night.
Okay, there you go.
But so I think it's going to go slow, but in case if it doesn't, I do have the 8, but I really do think it's going to go 0-0 an inning or 2.
Yeah, it'll be key to the Red Sox. A big 3-run homer is Valdez's walks. They're always get him in trouble. He doesn't throw hard. So if they don't chase, good walks, I think the Red Sox could be in this one and score early.
Something else I wanted to say real quick, like Valdez, his last start, I think he kind of got hit around. But Chris Sale in general, like what you said, Ian, you said he's not the same guy he used to be. I think he's the same guy he's always been. His playoff ERA is north of 6. It's a guy that I always wanted to fade whenever he was out there. And I would look to fade him again today.
There we go. Yeah, to me, it's Houston or pass. But
Valdez
I didn't love the price.
Valdez got hit by the White Sox, who are a top 5 team versus lefties, though. Where my numbers say the Astros ain't that. I mean, Boston ain't that top 5 team that the White Sox were versus lefties. So I think Valdez can sneakily get by. Just don't know how long.
Yeah, Red Sox are pretty good against lefties, though.
Yeah, not White Sox numbers.
Not
though.
White Sox good though.
No, but Red Sox are pretty good against.
They're good. They're definitely a top 10. They're good.
Yep. So they'll be. I just like I say, whether it's 6-2 Houston, 6-2 Boston, 5-4 Boston, 5-4 Houston. Although I do think Houston will win. I just don't want to lay minus 140, but I lean Astros. I think we'll get over the total. I'm just going to go with the total here in this one. We'll get to our, of course, Jack of the Day props and best bet for this game at the end of the show. Briefly on the two games tomorrow. Well, I'll briefly say something because we're playing game one tonight. There's going to be game two tomorrow afternoon, Boston and Houston. And we actually do know the pitching matchup. Nathan Eovaldi for Boston, Luis Garcia for Houston. Houston minus 145 home favorites in game two, 8.5 the total. And we just talked about Chris Sale and an absolutely shitty postseason track record. Well, you got the polar opposite taking the mound tomorrow for Boston and Nate Eovaldi. His postseason track record's been just absolutely terrific. How about a 1.93 ERA in the postseason for Nate Eovaldi? My strategy here is hopefully Houston wins tonight. I'm not on Houston tonight, but I lean that way. Not betting it, but I hope Houston wins tonight. Game goes over. We cash that. And I'm thinking of coming back to Boston at a plus price tomorrow with Eovaldi on the mound because I think he can go out there, pitch well. He's not going to be in fear of the Astros. And then you look at Luis Garcia and that start he made in the division series against Chicago. He got knocked around. He had control issues. He had command problems 5 days ago. White Sox end up winning that game 12-6. He gives up 3 walks, a home run, 5 runs, 5 hits, lasts only 2.2 innings in that game for the Astros. So real issues for Luis Garcia in that game, and definitely gives you a reason for possible concern here moving forward. Now, you look earlier in the year, did he face the Boston Red Sox? The answer is yes. He did face them way back on June 1st, and he did pitch well. 1 run, 5 hits, 7 innings. So that could be the counter argument to expecting the Red Sox to hit Garcia tomorrow. But at this price, with a guy with a proven track record of pitching well in the playoffs, I'm interested in Eovaldi at a plus number tomorrow in game 2. Connor, do you have any early thoughts to game 2 tomorrow?
I'm with you a little bit. I think if the Astros win, this is the one guy I want to back with Boston, at least right now. And Garcia, at times he looks really good, and at times he doesn't. I mean, we'll see with the Astros. Could this be a steamroll? I think the Red Sox were going to play them pretty tough. I don't know if this goes 7, but, I mean, like I said, they beat the Rays, the number 1 seed. They took care of the Yankees, their rival. So, yeah, maybe if they get beat tonight, tomorrow morning, I will look the Red Sox way at a plus price with Eovaldi.
Yeah, I think it's an even better setup and bet on Boston tomorrow if the Astros win tonight for sure here in game 1. Skee, what do you think for game 2?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, Eovaldi's like the only pitcher I trust for Boston. So I would be looking to back him at plus money. I mean, I would need to cap the game a little bit more after today, but initial thought is I always want to back Eovaldi.
Oh yeah, we're not carving these opinions into the table or anything or set in stone or anything. But yeah, definitely just initial opinions. But yeah, definitely Boston for me at least early on. Looks like I'd be looking to bet them tomorrow with Eovaldi, especially if they're down 1-0, because then you got a situation where you don't want to go back 2-0, going back to Houston, be down 2-0 in the series, put yourself in a big hole. Not that you can't overcome it, but you're playing a very good Houston team, and beating them 4 out of the next 5 would be difficult. Sharpie, you got any early thoughts and opinions of your game 2 tomorrow?
Yeah, thoughts and opinions are always there, man. I'm a stoner who fucking watches sports all day, bro. I got an opinion. So no, off the top of my head, I know I'm gonna do a video later tonight and break it down and put my bets out, but I know Eovaldi is worse on the road, and I know Garcia is better at home. I do know that right off the top of my head. So it is going to take some breaking down, and I'm going to have to – I like to line games before I look at a line and then bet it from there. So like how Connor said, I had it at a 9 type thing. It's like, yeah, I like to do that myself. And when I see value, it's like, okay, that's where I'm going to take it. But, yeah, that's my thoughts. I'm going to have to break it down, but I do know there's advantages on paper.
There you go. All right. So stay tuned. You're right. Saturday, tomorrow. Stay tuned. There'll be a thorough breakdown of this game and also the game that we'll just briefly talk about now as well for Saturday, NLCS Game 1, Dodgers and Braves. Pitcher to unnamed starter yet for the Dodgers. Of course, unnamed starter, man. They're still coming down off the celebration last night. And by the way, I had no problem with the celebration last night for the LA Dodgers. I thought that was a little over the top, celebrating against St. Louis after the wild card. But last night, against a team that had given them fits all year, a division rival who beat them to win the NL West division, and then you come back and you beat them in 5 games in the playoffs. yeah, celebrate all you want, boys. That's the way I see it. Have fun with it. And they sure did last night in that Dodgers clubhouse. So we don't know who's going to be on the mound for them, but we do know it'll be Max Fried for the Atlanta Braves. And just from again, we're not going to go into the hard numbers because we don't know who's on the mound for the Dodgers. But I will say this, from a situational standpoint, there's reasons to like Atlanta in game one. And I think the Dodgers win the series, but I think there could be reasons to like Atlanta in game one. You got the Dodgers traveling, all the way from the Bay Area to Atlanta for Saturday with just one day in between. The huge win against a bitter rival that they were, battling with all year, the San Francisco Giants. They got to go all the way out to Atlanta, and you got to face a pitcher that's really on top of his game in Max Fried. The guy has pitched outstanding baseball for the Atlanta Braves down the stretch. He's given up just 2 runs, one earned run, believe it or not. 1 earned run. That's it, allowed by Max Fried in his last 29 innings of baseball. 29 innings, he's given up just 1 earned run, Max Fried, during that span. And this could be a chance where they jump on maybe this Dodgers team traveling all the way coast to coast, after the big series win against the Giants, maybe a first 5 for Atlanta specifically in this game, or score the first run maybe. Again, we don't know who's going to be pitching yet for the Dodgers, but maybe Atlanta's got a shot to steal not steal game one. They've got home field, but a chance for them maybe to have a little bit of an edge. And it's, for me, just right now in theory, conceptually, Max Fried's a tough guy to go against at this point in time with how good he's been lately. So at least right now, we've got a little circle around Atlanta here, for me at least, in game one. Connor, what are your early thoughts game one tomorrow? Dodgers Braves.
Yeah, Max Fried pitched pretty well last year against the Dodgers. But I think the Dodgers will do all right. I just already looking at this game, I think it'll be Scherzer. Maybe it's not. I mean, he kind of skipped his bullpen throwing day the day before, he said, and he threw last night, and he didn't throw too many pitches. So I expect him to throw to start. I just look under. Sleepy game if you think the Dodgers travel across country. Maybe a first 5 under. I don't know if I want to go first 5 or full game. I know it's 8, the full game right now. I think Fried will be probably pretty good early. I think the Dodgers will get to him, and then I want the Dodgers to get to that Atlanta bullpen. I know they've been good, but after the Giants, I think there'll be more runs down the line in this series, and the bats will wake up for the Dodgers. So I'm just looking under here right now.
Yeah, I would agree with you on the under, sure. I mean, the Dodgers have transitioned to an under team for the most part. Their pitching's been good. Their starting pitching's held up. Their bullpen's been excellent so far. Their lineup, they sometimes can get shut down, especially by good pitching, and Max Fried could do that tomorrow. By the way, 3 runs in 12 innings this year for Max Fried against the Dodgers in 2 starts. 3 runs allowed in 12 innings. So he has pitched pretty well against them. Skee, early impressions, early thoughts here, Braves-Dodgers game one.
Yeah, I would agree for the most part with the under. But I think during this year we've seen the Dodgers, like when they come off a big series like the Giants or Padres or whatever, like I don't know what you want to call it, but maybe like a hangover effect the next game. I think you can maybe see that versus the Braves here. Like the Braves should be more rested. Max Fried, he's been pitching extremely well this year and the end of the season. So I would trust him. Like Atlanta's bullpen, I think they have a 3 ERA over the last 2 weeks. And I would be wary to back the Dodgers in that first game. So I like Atlanta, and I lean under.
Especially first 5 Atlanta, because the Dodgers bullpen's been outstanding. I mean, you can't say it enough. 0.86 or 1.77 ERA for the Dodgers pen the last 5 games. 0.86 ERA for Atlanta. Believe it or not, their bullpen's been every bit as good. Although their bullpen was good against the Milwaukee lineup that has been sketchy, for a very long time this year. So as great as the Atlanta bullpen's been, Dodgers are going to be Dodgers are going to be a greater test than the Brewers lineup. There's no denying that whatsoever. Sharpie, early thoughts, NLCS game one.
This is the dreadful game, but the game that I want. I do have a future on the Braves. I just thought there was way too much value on them at freaking plus 1,300 at the beginning of this thing. But Dodgers smash lefties, guys. Like, come on. I thought one of you guys were going to say this. We're third average, third OPS. You're going to give us 3 shots at this guy? If he does win game 1, cool. We're going to beat the brakes off of him the next 2 times we see this guy.
He's going to get fried, you're saying, not free.
Yeah, fried.
Yeah,
fried
they'll
time,
get to
bro.
him. I'm just saying he's pitched well last postseason.
He's been really freaking good. I've made a lot of money off of him. I just think Trey Turner's been slumping, and he's seen Max Fried how many times? He used to be a Washington National. So this is some get-right spots for some people. Max Scherzer versus Atlanta, I always made money fading him because they've always dogged the shit out of him. So I'm probably going to get like a 3.5 on an over first 5, and I'm going to jump on that, guys. I think they're both going to get hit, and it's going to be a battle of the bullpens.
All right, there we go. Maybe looking for runs here. That the Dodgers can keep their recent success against lefties going, albeit 3 runs only for them in 12 innings against Fried, but that was much earlier in the season. We do have to point that out. And that the Braves can maybe do some damage as well against Scherzer or whoever starts for the Dodgers here. So maybe looking for some runs here for Sharpie with game 1 of the NLCS. All right, we will get back to baseball after the sponsors, after the break. What we'll do briefly is talk a little college football for tonight. There are 4 college football games on tap for this Friday. Just briefly, we're not going to go into too much detail here, but I like Syracuse a little bit getting the points and Derek Clemson team that's 0-5 against the spread to cover a number. Simple as that. And I know Clemson's off a bye. And is this a chance for a team that's underachieved so far to hit the reset button? Very possible. But this offense has been problematic all year. O-line's been had issues blocking, protecting, and it's hurt the production of DJ Uiagalelei at quarterback for Clemson. So I don't know if that's going to end up being something that's fixed by the bye week. Maybe, it is a good coach in Dabo Swinney to maybe get these guys revved up again and turn this thing around. They still only have the 1 loss, but all their wins have been unimpressive and by the skin of their teeth. The Boston College win, the Georgia Tech win. They've just had a lot of close calls, and they're struggling to win games by margin. And Syracuse seems to give everybody a tough game this year, the way they've played. So, and it's an improved defense on the Syracuse side as well. So I lean Syracuse a little bit there. I lean to North Texas. Plus, there's another team that's trouble is covering as favorites right now, Marshall. And I don't trust them as double-digit road favorites against North Texas.
Not on the road.
On the road. I like North Texas a little there, and I like the over, too, 65.5. 2 suspect defenses. Marshall plays very fast on offense, up-tempo. I think you'll see points scored there. Pass for me on San Diego State, San Jose State. I lean San Jose now that it's 10, but, man, they're just so beaten up with injuries. I don't know if I can trust them. And Cal, Oregon, I lean a little to Cal. It is their point spread roll. They're good road dogs. We've seen them cash in this role multiple times already this year as double-digit dogs. I worry about the speed advantage that Oregon has in this game a little bit, but small bet for me on Cal as well. Connor, anything here for Friday college football?
Yeah, that Cal-Oregon game, I like the under. I think you got to take Cal. They've held Oregon the last 2 years, which I think was a better offense, to 17 points the last 2 years, and they've covered. It's a short trip. I know it's on the road, but I haven't been too impressed with this Oregon team and its offense. So I definitely like the under, and I probably will have a play catch. I want 14. I don't think it gets there. There's 13.5s everywhere. So I'll wait. I'm not touching, the San Diego State. They've been a lot better, though. They've been scoring a ton of points. 10-point favorites, and the total's 41. I mean, their totals are getting so low, they've been scoring enough, they're going all of a sudden over. San Diego State games. They used to go under.
Exactly.
So I'm going to stay off there. I agree. North Texas hasn't been good. They haven't scored points, but I don't think Marshall should be laying 11 right now on the road. I think North Texas, Friday night, freaky shit happens on Friday night, baby. North Texas tonight. I think they cover. And the other one, I mean, just right now, just past this game, I wouldn't lay points with Clemson. Just not till they get right and score points. But I do think off the bye, they might score a little more points tonight. I think everyone's talking the under. I think this game could go over here. It's only at 43.5. Syracuse has been giving up a bunch of points lately. Their games have been in the 30s. So I lean over here. I know everyone likes the under. Clemson hasn't scored much in these games, but I think they do today. So I'm leaning over in that one.
Hey, I agree with Connor. I looked at this game and I talked about it with my friend Rob Vino. And in general, just
who's very good with totals, by the way, and that's his specialty.
He's good. Yeah,
he is. What What was I saying? My bad. I got it.
You were talking with Rob Bino.
Total.
The
No,
total
so
with Bino.
For Clemson to score points, what Conor has said. So what I was thinking was like, when teams have extended time or extended rest or whatever the case is, that gives them time to work on their offense. And I get it; they haven't looked good lately, but coming off that bye, it gives them a chance to remind everybody that they're still Clemson. And Syracuse, they're coming off of a tough game, right? It was a hard-fought game. They went in overtime and they lost. I just think the spot heavily favors Clemson, and I agree with what Conor said. I think we see a lot more points tonight. So I'm on Clemson tonight, minus 13.5.
All right, minus 13.5 with Clemson. And it's starting to make me think about Connor's over, 243.5. Syracuse has played faster the last couple weeks against Wake and FSU, but those were teams they expected to compete with and maybe beat. Clemson's difference. Does he slow it down tonight? Like Dino Babers, like an out-of-control driver. He speeds it up, and then he slows it right down and slams on the brakes. What's he going to do tonight with this Syracuse offense, pace-wise?
I want that Clemson team total listening to Conor and Skee right now. They're like, oh, they expect points. He's taking him minus us. Sounds like they go score that.
Yeah, it's that's the one thing you have to remember, too, with teams, especially in football. When you have a bye week, and you could say this happens in the NFL, too, what do you work on more? What do you practice more? The things that weren't working going into the bye, the things that you were struggling with. And obviously, what was Clemson struggling with? The offense, right? So maybe you'd be proactive. I kind of like that.
They've been pathetic, by the way. They've been pathetic. I mean, they've been scoring 20, 27, 19 points a game. Yeah. I just think they get more. They could only get better. 2 weeks, come on, Dabo. Get it going.
Get it going.
The offensive line's bad, but hopefully they're getting healthy. Yeah, so I just think it's too low, the total.
Yeah, and you know what? Who needs some blame? You know who's going to be on the hot seat, too, if this shit doesn't get fixed? Tony Elliott, the offensive coordinator for Clemson, who's been there now for a few years. I think he took over when Chad Morris left. He used to be the OC at Clemson. And it's definitely been a struggle for this offense, and he's, kind of to blame for it. So definitely keep that in mind. Briefly on NHL, I'll just throw out the picks. Chicago, New Jersey over. I like Chicago a little bit as a dog, and I like Vancouver as a dog against Philadelphia. I thought Vancouver could have beat Edmonton the other night. They lost in a shootout. They played just as well, and now they're a dog against a Philly team I have questions about coming into the year. So Canucks plus the price, lean Blackhawks plus the price, and I like over the total of 6 in the Blackhawks-Devils game. That's my NHL tonight. Connor, did you like anything on the ice?
Yeah, that Blackhawks Devil game will be interesting. Devils minus 130. Everyone has high hopes of this, Devils team. I don't know if they should be minus 130. So I think there is a little value with the Blackhawks. I don't think they look bad night one. They look better as the game went on. I lean with them, the plus 110, but I'm with you. Flyers, I don't buy it. Give me the Canucks plus 130.
A lot of people seem to think the Flyers are going to be better. They were awful last year, and I know Len Vigneault is saying Carter Hart's dialed in, and he's in a good space mentally. I got to see it in a regular season game. This guy couldn't stop a beach ball at times last year. He had a brutal season in between the pipes for the Philadelphia Flyers. I'm going to need to see better from Carter Hart this year before I'm ready to trust him. And I like that Vancouver team. I think they're improved. They could have easily beaten the Edmonton Oilers, losing in a shootout. Really, really tough loss, but they could have won that game. I think they can beat Philly here tonight. Let's ask Skee. Skee's saying he's dabbling in hockey this year. Skee, did you like anything tonight?
I actually didn't take a look at it today. I'll be on it though. Today I didn't look at it.
What's the WNBA play tonight? That's the question.
Yeah, playoffs, right? Phoenix Mercury.
It's I'm kind of still waiting for some injury information because Courtney Vandersloot, I saw her wearing like a precautionary boot or something. So I want to make sure she's all right because the team is kind of going to go as she goes. So I'm going to look up a little bit more information and I'll tweet something out if I have it on that game.
Ooh.
There you go. All right. Excellent. Very good. Should be interesting. WNBA playoffs going on. And we're happy to announce that Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, it's the return of the NBA Pub Hub. We cannot wait. Season premiere, NBA Pub Hub. We're going to have a fun season ahead. It'll be a season preview show coming up on Monday. We'll talk division futures, conference futures, NBA championship futures, win totals, player prop, season-long player prop, things that you could bet as well. We'll talk all of that on Monday, and we're looking forward to it. We'll have the NBA Pub Hub crew back next week starting Monday. Looking forward to that. And, of course, the season tips off with that national TV doubleheader next Tuesday night. So it's NBA season. It's here, and we're looking forward to it here at Pub Sports Radio. All right, great stuff. Let's get to everybody in the chat before we get to Jack of the Day, baseball props, and best bets, which can be anything on the board tonight. Doesn't have to be just baseball. Evan L. Sharpie, of course, who's with us. Eric Jones, Michael Robertson, Lance LaRose, Jace, Jay Cash, Skee, of course, with us on the show, but in the chat as well. Christian Hoover, Brian Watson, Sneakers to 219, Sharon Pulliam. There you go. Jefferson C. Appreciate everybody here with us. Pocket quarterback Lamar Jackson, Sabino with us, Wyatt Chapman, Slick Rick, Brian Watson. We appreciate everybody in the chat. G. Martinez, everybody that's with us. Mr. Nimbus, Yay Area 415, Real Deal Prime, Harold Williams, Raw Torque. We appreciate all of you guys back in the chat joining us here on the Pub Sports Radio MLB Closing Time Show. All right, Jack of the Day, props, best bets, you name it, coming up in just a second. But first, messages from Manscaped and Southtown 101. All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, Texas, stop in for great food, drinks, live music, DJs, and karaoke at Southtown 101. Manscaped, promo code PubSports, Lawnmower 4.0, and any Manscaped product. Get a discount on your purchase with the promo code PubSports. You get 20% off your purchase at manscaped.com. Use the promo code PubSports and mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. Football season, obviously still plenty of it left for NFL and college. NHL is underway. NBA tips off next week. College basketball next month. This is the year when all the sports are ongoing at once. No better time than right now to sign up at mybookie.ag. Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit as well. Mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. All right. Well, it was the slim pickings, I should say, last night for Jack of the Day. A cold, well-pitched type of game, cold night in San Francisco. Little different story tonight. Let's see what we can find for Jack of the Day.
Well, see you later.
All right, Jack of the Day for this Friday night. I'll just stick to tonight's games for Jack of the Day. There are a couple, and sticking out like a sore thumb here is Jose Altuve. Actually, when you look at, I'm looking at the wrong day. Hold on one sec. I think he still has good numbers here against Sale. Yes, he does. 10 for 31.
10 for 31.
3 home runs. There you go. Jose Altuve, Jack of the Day against Chris Sale. Bregman as well, 4 for 12 and 2 home runs against him. You could even go Correa, but Correa's been a little bit more susceptible to striking out against Sale, but especially Alex Bregman and Jose Altuve for Jack of the Day in this one. And from the Boston side of the equation, Kike Hernandez, 3 for 11 with a home run against Framber Valdez. So Kike Hernandez, and look, you'll get a nice price with him as well. Something to look at maybe on the Boston side of the fence. But no doubt, Bregman and Altuve, the numbers just jump off the page at you. Their success, especially with the long ball against Chris Sale. So that's what I like for Jack of the Day. Conor Mac, what do you got?
Yeah, I had Bregman plus 475 and Correa. He does have a Jack 5 for 25. He usually steps up and plays well here in the playoffs. So at plus 500, I think you take him. And then on the other side, I like Kike's plus 450. He has a Jack, but I got to stick with my guy. He's 2 for 6 with a double. Bogarts plus 500. I think you can go yard here with a lefty on the mound of Valdez. Bogarts plus 500.
All right, there we go. Some Jack of the Day props from Conor Mac. Sharpie, prop time, home runs, strikeout props, you name it. What do you got?
Let's get it. Am I on mute? Nope. Cool. All right. Strikeout props. If I was to play any, and I haven't played it yet, it would be Chris Sale. He is the MLB strikeout leader per 9 innings, guys. They both walk the same. Astros do strike out 3% more the last 30 days. Shout out to Sabino and Guano with the dono. Let's get it. Starting the Friday off right.
Yeah,
let's
thank
get
you
it.
very much.
But if I was to look at any, they're both at 4.5. I would look at Sale over 5. If he does get cracked, he could still get that, but he would need to go 5 innings to get that 5 by the numbers. You guys pretty much said it. I put $30 on Alex Bregman today. It was plus 450. He's got 2 good numbers. Yes, he's slugging. It's just that's too much value in my eyes. Had to put a little bit on him, and then Kiki Hernandez and Altuve both over 1.5 bases at plus 130, guys. You pretty much said all the reasons why. Yeah, so those guys are going to kill it in my eyes today.
There you go, Altuve and Kike Hernandez. There you go, one on each team, Astros and Red Sox for tonight. Skee, if you got any props, let us know. And if not, give us what you got for best bet.
No props. Man, it's the baseball show. I want to give a best bet. I haven't actually placed a bet on MLB yet. So it's just going to be, I guess, a lean right now, but maybe I'll get there. And if I'm going to play tonight, it's going to be over 8.5.
There you go, over 8.5 there for Skee Profit. Sharpie, best bet. If you had to have one, what would it be?
Like Skee said, that's probably the righteousest shit you could say, though, bro. In my eyes, to tell people you don't have a bet, that right there, just above the world. Tops off.
Of course. Yeah.
Some people give you a best bet, not bet it though. Like that's so solid. Like that's why these people come to this chat, bro, for straight solid shit, bro. People are real. And I bet the 8, like I said, that's the only bet I have in this game. 8.5. I mean, I still would like it, but I like the fact that I could push with an 8, but I still think it goes over 8. 8.5.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking forward to it. Yeah, Sabino, get ready. Miss your basketball handicap. You don't have to miss it. You come and join us Monday, NBA Pub Hub. Skee is going to be on it. You're not going to miss anything if you do that.
Let's get it.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be right here every day.
Max has got college football coming. Videos coming soon, too.
Yeah, college hoops. Yeah, with Maxwell. Conor Mac, he'll be on that. It's basketball season. Seriously, I mean, I know there's still lots of football left, but yeah, basketball season's coming up too, and can't wait for that. So we got basketball covered right here on Pub Sports Radio. So we're looking forward to it for sure. All right, Conor Mac, best bet if you got one.
I'm with you guys. Skee, I know you haven't made the bet. Make the bet. I think it goes over. I mean, I made it at the 8, but I endorsed at 8.5. I wouldn't give this out like Sharpie said. At 8.5, I just think with these pitchers, these 2 lineups, like I said, I thought this should have been a 9, the total. So if even at 8.5, it gets over tonight.
There you go. Over 8.5, Boston, Houston. Best bet for Conor Mac. And this will be the shortest analysis I've ever had for a best bet. Ditto. That's it. Ditto.
Shout out to my boy Nicky Fish Tanks. $5 dono. 369. Come get to the window, baby.
369.
My boy.
Struck it to me one more time. Get low. Remember that song? Yeah, back in the day. To the window.
2 tanks.
To the wall. Don't get me going. We're gonna sing the whole damn thing now. But,
to the window.
But get that spotlight off me. I'm singing the karaoke for when I'm there in person in Las Vegas down the road. That's when we'll crank it up with the karaoke.
You know what I'm excited about too?
Yeah.
NBA's coming back. We're gonna get some more of that hawk noise. We'll get some more of that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna have a lot. That'll be fun to bring that back. But again, the Atlanta Hawks are gonna have to win. You know, it's gonna be a dead bird. The bird calls will be dead if they don't perform when I'm betting on them this year. So stay tuned for that. More bird calls with Ian Cameron on NBA Pub Hub. So that's a wrap, guys. Let's just talk about what's going on. There's a UFC this weekend, right? Yeah. So there'll be a live stream for that tomorrow on Pub Sports Radio. Sharpie's going to have baseball videos this weekend.
4 p.m.
The championship series. 4 p.m. Eastern show.
Big show. Just
Yes,
4
sir.
p.m.
We want to make sure we get the time.
Oh, yeah. No, I love it.
Tomorrow, absolutely, for the UFC live stream. Sharpie's going to have baseball videos. Of course, we're going to have we're going to have the hitting the books on Monday. NBA Pub Hub on Monday. It makes its premiere 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. It'll be me. It'll be Skee. It'll be Dutch Boy Fresh, and it'll be Trot Wham. It's going to be a lot of fun. NBA Pub Hub starting on Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. So it's going to be a great season ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Billy and Brady's DFS show coming on in 2 hours. We have the soccer show after that and an hour right after that. Yep. So they got Mad DFS, Max Soccer. We got everything coming, guys. It's pub. We be pubbing for real.
All the sports are covered. DFS with Billy, of course, and company. Yeah, you mentioned it. Alex C and Flash doing the soccer show tonight. Looking with the No Clean Sheets is the name. I like that because they always talk about games where they think goals are going to be scored. So that's the how they came up with the name of that show. So great stuff. And of course, don't forget tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific, college football Saturday morning kickoff show. Ian Cameron, Conor Mac, DJ Big Boss, Big Ragu. We'll all be in the house and breaking down the Saturday college football card. So get ready for that tomorrow morning as well. Yeah, I'm ready, Bill McDonald, ready for the hot calls coming up on the NBA Pub Hub if the Hawks get the job done for us. Now I'm saving it for the NBA show. We're not going to we're going to make you guys wait to watch the NBA show.
They want you to pregame, bro. We're pregaming.
Pre-game. Yeah. All right, we'll do a small one. There you go.
It's Friday for real, guys.
Yeah, there you go. We'll get the hot calls going for that Atlanta team, and looking forward to that. All right, I think we've said everything we need to say. We're ready for a big weekend ahead, and thanks to all of you guys in the chat for joining us, supporting the shows. Hit the like button on the way out if you haven't already. I'm seeing these subscriber numbers to the Pub Sports Radio YouTube channel just continue to go up and up and up. 11.4K subscribers and counting. Just outstanding.
All we do is win. No,
it's growing at an incredible rate, and it's all thanks to you guys for joining us and supporting the shows. We appreciate it beyond belief. We'll be back tomorrow, Saturday, college football. Connor and I will see you then. For Skee Profit, Conor Mac, Sharpie, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Friday night and a great weekend. Enjoy the games and good luck. Cash some tickets, and we'll see you again tomorrow right here on Pub Sports Radio.
We be pub.